Hey, welcome to Crafty Music Tips. My name's Crafty, and I'm here as a full-time musician about to react to an early Nirvana video. Let's go check it out. First concert, 1986. That's what we want. Let's check it out.
I'm ready to go see what I forgot. Okay, there's a few things about this band I want you to notice. First of all, their hair rules, okay? Their hair rules. Secondly, the guys got these fucking plastic drums and the scooped on, that rules.
All right. Rock and roll. 1986. That's a long time before Nirvana became really successful with Nevermind in 1991. And a long time before Bleach, the first album. I wonder where the gig is.
Thirdly, this guy has his amp modified so it says Nash All. And fifthly, they're ready to play on time, which makes my stage manager's heart happy.
It's a shame I can't really hear what he's saying.
Please welcome sub-pop artist Nirvana.
Okay, he said welcome sub-pop artist Nirvana. So sounds like Nirvana were already signed at this stage, but as far as I was aware, Bleach came out a couple of years later, maybe. Let's have a listen anyway. Alright, the song School, it sounds like, and they're a four-piece. Oh, that's awesome. Imagine that. Imagine being there in 1986. I guess there was a lot of other things going on in 1986. I think that's the year that Slippery When Wet, the Bon Jovi album, came out. The year before, Van Halen had changed singers. You know, grunge didn't really exist yet. Imagine that, just being there that early on. Now, there's heaps of things to already notice. You know, for instance, they've already got some great songs that the first album had, and Kurt's voice is obviously great. You know, like, obviously the School riff is awesome.
Excellent!
And it even sounds like they really know what they're doing sound-wise with their guitars and everything like that, even though it's a low-quality recording through the camcorder. I love the song School. It's got, you know, maybe 3 different lines of lyrics in the whole song. It's awesome. It's awesome to see how much energy they've got. You know, Kurt's obviously right now, like, he's just like on the ground, you know, rocking out with his guitar. But everybody in the band's got a lot of energy, and that's what you need when you're really earlier on in your career. You know, you really got to just put in that energy because possibly a lot of people in the crowd wouldn't have never heard of the band before. So you really got to get out there and, you know, show them that you mean business. Yes, nice delays on the vocals there, Mr. Sound Guy. So this is another song off Bleach, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I do recognize that song. I just can't place what the title is. That's another great song off of Bleach, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm just watching this kind of drooling, thinking like, wouldn't it have been awesome to have just been there, 1986, seeing Nirvana so earlier on. I'm assuming that it's in Seattle in some sweaty, little to medium-sized club. It sounds loud. It sounds rocking. And it looks and sounds like Nirvana were already destined for greatness. But sadly, that's not the case for every single band. You know, I've seen a lot of really great bands, unknown bands, yet to be unsigned bands, that sadly, you know, something doesn't go right for them. Maybe the drummer gets with the guitarist's girlfriend, or maybe, you know, one of the members wants to write or perform some different style music after a while, maybe having to be in hotel rooms and just living life out of a van or a tour bus doesn't actually really appeal to you once you've done it for a little while. There's a lot of things that need to go right in order for a band to be successful. And in these early stages, they really did have really a lot going for them. Oh, some different camera angles. Let's check this out. Really? Was that what I think it was? A drunk punter getting up and singing I Am God? That's awesome. Looks like Chris Novoselic was like, come on, mate. Get out of here.
Are you having a laugh?
No. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, look, we've all had that. We've all had the drunken person that thinks, all right, it's my turn to have a shot at getting some attention and showing how awesome that I am. Obviously, in this case, we've got, you know, a video representation of it where, you know, like he'll wake up really hungover and go, oh no, why did I do that? Oh, that's awesome. That's nice to know that Nirvana, like the biggest ever grunge band of the entire universe, was susceptible to those annoying things like a lot of us musicians that are out there gigging and performing, you know, we have that. And how do they deal with it? They probably didn't know, like, oh, what do we do? Obviously, you know, after, 30, 40 seconds, they were like, all right, let's get rid of this guy. But they weren't there straight away. That's one of the things that I'll do straight away, is just because I guess I've been burnt that many times before, is that if I see someone kind of like getting into my space when I'm performing, I'll kind of, and just, you know, with the body language, and also you try and not make eye contact with them, because then they feel like, they've got your connection, and then they want to get into your space more. So there's a lot of different ways of dealing with that. Sadly, Nirvana had to deal with it their way. Couldn't hear what Chris said there. Obviously, don't do that, mate. Something along those lines. Aha, Love Buzz. The Shocking Blue cover. This was Nirvana's first ever single. All right, yeah, cool, excellent. Well, it's been really great watching this really early Nirvana video because, I'm quite a big Nirvana fan. Nirvana kind of changed my life. The amount of times when I was at school at recess and lunch, me and my mate Colin DeVoli, we would always go to the music suite and we would connect on playing Smells Like Teen Spirit over and over and over and over again. And so it's really nice to see that something that was really big in my upbringing musically was something that I guess they had to do their version of that as well. And of course, everybody's a human being that has to have their version of developing up to their levels of success. But when you just are exposed to a band that is really succeeding, it's hard to imagine that they had to go through a lot of the same stuff that we all do. So it's really great to see that they had to push a drunk guy off the stage. Now, Nirvana at this point were already really great. What did they have to do in order to be able to get that great ability? Well, they had to do lots of rehearsal, and Kurt, I believe it was mainly Kurt that did the lion's share of the songwriting in Nirvana. So he had to visit and revisit the art of his songwriting really regularly in order to be able to come up with some really good stuff. Now, also in this early stage in 1986, it looked like Nirvana, even in the blurry video representation of them, you can really get a sense that they had a really strong idea of exactly what they wanted to present themselves as, meaning, what was their image? They're all wearing their kind of grungy style clothing. And this is at a time when the stuff that was going really big on MTV at the time would have been a lot of the, the Bon Jovi, the Motley Crue, Van Halen. Also bands like Metallica, Anthrax, the early metal, these guys were doing something different and they chose to do it and they stuck to their guns with conviction. And 5 years later, when Nevermind was released, they finally got their payoff for sticking to their guns. So for me, watching this really early video, it's quite nice to see that that's how it was able to work for them. They really stuck to their guns. And sticking to your guns isn't easy if you've got a lot of other people that are going down different paths, but they just believed in themselves and they really had a lot of passion for what they did. And you can tell, like it's real. They're not up there posing. They're not up there doing something that they think that people are going to like. They just did what they liked and they really believed in it and they really did it well. They worked at it.
Every time we say goodbye, I die a little.
Whew. So there you have it. My name's Crafty. This has been a reaction video to early Nirvana. Did you learn anything out of watching this? I know I did. And is there something else that you would like me to react to as a full-time musician? Let me know in the comments below. Now, just before I go, I want to leave you with a free gift. If you're anything like me as a musician and you feel like that at times you're chasing your tail, you're not improving at the rate that you would like to, well, I've got something for you. It's a free ebook download. I'll leave the link below. Basically, it's called 5 Steps to Fast Improvement. Like I said, if you're feeling like you're chasing your tail, it's because you're not really clear about what it is or how it is that you want to improve. And so I give you those steps. I make it really easy for you to follow. So I hope that can be helpful for you. Whew. So there you have it. Another music tips video all done and dusted. I'll see you in another one really soon. My name is Crafty. Wherever you are, take care of yourself, and I'll see you really soon.